Hi, my name is Brett Dupree. It's been 3 years since I made one of these videos on this channel, and I just thought I would update on how I'm doing and what my life is like. If you can tell by my face that I didn't reach my health goal set 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So I'm probably going to make about a few 5-minute videos at least discussing what I've been up to and how I decided to live my life. It was about a year and a half ago when I decided that I was going to go on my last diet. Sick of it. I was just freaking sick of it. I have tried and failed on so many diets. If you're on this one, I would start at the HMR. I did uh, keto. I did low carb. I did the Game On diet. I did various South Beach eating 6 meals a day. I've done intermittent fasting. Heck, I lost 60 pounds in like 6 months or like 4 months on intermittent fasting. That felt great, minus the starvation and not eating all the time. But I always try to recapture that. And COVID, of course, this was hard as I spent way too much money on takeout and got just continue to push forward, hurt my back a bunch. And yeah, so it's been tough in that regard. But at the same time, I decided that I was gonna be done. I did not want to diet again. I was sick of it. If I wasn't going to get it to work this time, I'm just gonna spend the rest of my life fat and enjoy myself. But the thing is, I thought about it and what did each diet have in common when it came to failure? And that was me dealing with my emotional. I was an emotional eater. If I was happy, I would eat. If I was sad, I would eat. If I was scared, I would eat. If I was bored, I would eat. No matter the emotion, there was always a desire to eat. So I decided to work on my emotional eating and try to decouple that because no diet is going to work if I still emotional eat. Eventually, all diets went kind of through the same thing. I'd get all excited at first, do all the things that you're supposed to do, set up my life for success, get makeup, get Tupperware to pre-meal, all that fun jazz. Go shopping, research, listen to podcasts, listen to so many freaking podcasts, read so many freaking articles because that's what the type of person I am. Type of person is like, ooh, I want to do something, I better read all about it. So I decided that I really wanted to lose the weight, of course, and this was going to be my last diet because, again, as I was saying, I was sick of it and so emotional eating. And luckily, through my work, I got free therapy, 26 sessions through something called Lyra Health. And I decided to finally get down to it and work with a therapist. First therapist, I did like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I think it was 8 weeks, 12 weeks of cognitive behavioral therapy as a person who was obsessed with personal growth and personal development. It really didn't do a lot for me. It was very reinforcing of what I learned, but in a clinical. So it was nice seeing evidence based stuff rather than something someone like me would write after reading 10 books by people like me would write, like my book Joy's Expansion. And I did that, and then I found a therapist who worked on people with eating disorders and emotional eating. And I will say this, after working with a therapist for like a year and a half, one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life was not getting a therapist, not finding someone I could talk to about things, validate my experience, and then work on improving my experience. And so this therapist works with a nutritionist. And so she had me work with her, and luckily my insurance covered it, kind of. Yes, it does, but that was a whole different debacle that I'll get into in a future video. But since all my videos are going to be around 5 minutes, this one's almost over. And so that we talked about it, and we started to work on, instead of dieting, to do mindful eating and intuitive eating. First, work on mindful eating because one of my emotional dealing with emotionals is numbing, and that's the way I kind of was an emotional eater. If I felt emotion, it's been a long, I spent, I'm in my 40s and I'm still uncomfortable with my emotions. And so that I can work with my emotions and decouple that with eating, first with mindful eating and intuitive eating. And so it's a year and a half later, and I have given up on dieting. So tomorrow or Thursday or the next day, whenever I feel like it, I will post an update to part 2 of my story. So have a great day, like and subscribe and all that jazz. I keep on looking down because you've been looking at me.